Welcome to all the Mini enthusiasts around. Okay, so I've got the Cooper off. I took the engine gearbox and the subframe all out in one shot, and I did it on the ramp, and then we wheeled it around like a wheelbarrow from where the E-Type Jaguar is sitting now, around onto this area. So now I can work on the front, the underneath of the car, and the front, do the engine bay out. And I'm just wondering if you like the Go Faster stripe on top. Believe it or not, that's actually it's just dust from when we were doing all the grinding and cutting on the back when we were putting all that new boot floor in. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So I'll just give it a quick clean off, but it actually looks like a black line, doesn't it? Anyway, so I've got it up in the air like this. Obviously it's actually held up from these roof beams, which are huge, but it's also sitting on those as well as a secondary precaution, because now I want to do all the engine bay, strip all this out, get everything cleaned up. Well, I've been working on minis since I was about, I think the first mini I had was I was about 17, I think, when I was in the Marines. I'd just finished training. I was 18, 17 and a half, 18. And now these SPIs, these single point injections, are so much more complicated in comparison. The basic A-series engine is the same, but the injection system, or not the injection system, but the wiring that goes onto the car, is basically a carburetor, and not a real injector as such. There is no injectors like on an injection EFI system, but there's lots and lots of cables. And fortunately, I've got a friend near Graz, about 50 k's from here, who's a guru on these things. He's been working on minis for 40 odd years, and he has a massive collection, 60 odd cars, I think. Anyway, so there's the engine and the gearbox out. So what I'm going to do now is I'll separate which is very easy now, I'll separate it from the engine mounts. And what we're going to do is, this friend of mine, Max, who's this mini guru I'm just talking about, we'll strip it down, and in the gearbox, I think I mentioned before, in the gearbox I'm going to put a extended pipe across the bottom of the gearbox for the oil pickup, which is, somebody's come up with this idea. Mini Spares do it, and I guess plenty of others. I don't know if it's a Mini Spares idea or it's just come from somebody in the mini world. But it's a much better system. And then we'll completely rebuild the gearbox and engine, because the gearbox, there's lots of leaks and things on it. Always is on an A series, but this is profusely leaking compared to most minis. And then I'll clean up the subframe, repaint it, put the new suspension cones in here, but I'll put it in with the high-low suspension, so that piece underneath there will come out and the high-low will go in there. And then redo all the calipers, put new discs on it because they're buggered. But the subframes are always okay on these, especially on the front subframe. It's the rear subframe that suffers on minis. The front subframes are constantly covered in oil and lubricated, as you can see. But yeah, and then I'll paint it the original colour. I'll paint it the red that it was. It would have been red originally. I think you can just make out some of the red. Perhaps when I clean it, you'll see it a bit better. And that's where we're at. And there she is, up in the air. So now I can shorten this strap now. What I'll do is I'll actually take it right up so it's almost onto its valance at the back, so I can completely do the underneath, paint the underneath, take out the fuel lines, clean them up. Because this is a British car, and bringing it to Austria, I have to take it to a thing called the turf. It's an engineering, it's like a first MOT on a car, but it's much tougher than an MOT, much tougher, because it's being brought from another country. They want to make sure every little detail is checked, and they're very tight, you know. It's quite a big deal, so I have to make sure this car's absolutely 100%, or it won't pass and I won't be able to get the registration for it. So, as I say, check in over the next 4, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it is, and hopefully she'll be gone through the test. So that's where we're at. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, this thing was running pretty well, I have to say, and the compressions weren't bad. But I just thought if we're going to go to this extent, we might as well, you know, strip it out, check the clutch. You know, it's a lot of work putting it back, so I want to make sure it's absolutely 100% right. Anyway, thanks for watching in. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and you know, as I go through it, I'll try and make some more and show you what we're up to and what how we're improving it, making it better, and so on. But yeah, a lot of work, and especially the fact that I'm doing this as well at the same time. I've got this E-Type that I've been rebuilding over the last 4 years, and that's going ready for a test soon. So yeah, a lot of work. Anyway, bye for now. Take care, and subscribe if you like the videos. Take care. Bye.